Hey, 15th episode of AI's Hit, and as every week, in an attempt to understand AI's capacity for photography, we will focus on the history of a famous photographer of the past and present, and try to rediscover why he marked his time and his style, for the better or worse, because we don't really know if the truth is said by AI. So please go check the real sources online in books and in exhibitions or in your memory to see if it all makes sense. And I will again rely on OpenAI, Dall-E, and Midjourney for illustrations and ChatGPT for the historical data. So yeah, AI, could you please tell us more about the bio of this photographer?
He is an American-French photographer, filmmaker, and painter. He was born in New York City in 1928 and studied at the City College of New York before moving to Paris in 1948 to study art. He began his career as a photographer in the 1950s and is known for his bold, spontaneous style and for his use of unusual perspectives and wide-angle lenses. He has also directed several films, including the documentary Who Are You, Polymagoo in 1966. His work has been exhibited in galleries and museums around the world, and he has been the recipient of numerous awards and honors throughout his career.
Okay, as for every week, I asked Dall-E to illustrate in the style of that photographer, this mystery photographer, which is actually William Klein. So William Klein used mainly black and white photography that we can see in those illustrations. There might be some kind of hint to his style. Not sure about it yet, but let's ask AI about the style. So AI, can you tell us more?
William Klein's style is different from other photographers in that he often used unconventional techniques, such as shooting from odd angles, blurring image intentionally, and using flash to create striking and dynamic images.
Okay, the two first pictures. Interesting illustrations. Maybe the photo on the right really reminds me of William Klein's style. This kind of unconventional view of people where he almost feels invisible. And the one on the left, yeah, some kind of capture with there's some blurring, there's some flash, obviously. Again, I'll remind you, those pictures come from AI, so there's nothing real about them besides they were constructed mathematically. But let's ask a bit more about the style.
He was known for his gritty, raw, and unpolished style that broke from traditional photographic conventions. He was a pioneer of the New York School of Photography, which emphasized capturing the mood and atmosphere of the city rather than traditional compositions and technical perfection.
Yeah, again, here I think it's closer to his style with this on the left picture, this use of flash, obviously, or some kind of close light source and wide angle from below. And on the right, this capture where I think the composition, this sort of asymmetric with this main subject, this blonde woman on the right, and those crowded streets. Again, the finer detail of the creation of the picture are kind of messy, as often with Dall-E, but I do feel there is some hint of William Klein's style here. Again, please go check, but let's hear a little bit more.
He was also famous for his use of a wide-angle lens, which allowed him to capture entire scenes and to create a sense of depth and movement in his images.
Okay, so a little scarce on that example. I'm not sure we learned much about William Klein's style, but illustrations from Dall-E I think are interesting. They're again the way it's framed, where you feel the photographer is kind of hiding, or at least not very visible to the subject. He kind of is there and doesn't seem to modify the interaction between the other individuals, the ones taken in picture. So quite interesting, and the way the contrast he looks, and yeah, I'm quite impressed in this case about how the style is reproduced. But yeah, you're free. Please go check again the real information online in books, wherever. But as we have a virtual William at hand, let's ask for a custom work. That would be a photo of a street in a small Midwestern town in Great Britain, with a kid holding a toy dinosaur looking at the camera, his mom holding his hand with a fair and a fanfare behind them in the style of photographer William Klein. Will that even be close? Okay, so first two pictures. The holding the thing, the hand thing is not really, didn't get it. Again, often I think the AI, the part which tries to understand the linguistics, doesn't work that well to transmit to the image engine what's necessary. But we do have the dinosaur toys. We do have some kind of different angle, very directed towards the subjects, and this really contrasty look, more on the picture on the right. Not really sure about the rest. Not sure I would have said William Klein in those two first example. Here again, I'm not sure. Maybe my request wasn't the best, but not very convincing in this situation. We do have the toys, we do have the subject. It doesn't really look like candidly like photography. Not really sure I would have said Midwest Great Britain, but yeah. But I like the proximity, this feel of proximity of those images. And then to finish, the two last images are from Midjourney. And again, here I think Midjourney does a great job of feeling more realistic. It's more refined. But again, there's always this, as I said last week and for a few weeks now, I really believe Midjourney has this extra varnish that makes us think of Midjourney more than of the photographer. The way the subjects seem to all look in different directions and don't seem focused by the same things. This kind of eerie look. But interesting how it definitely didn't take in account the kid holding a hand with his mom, but we do see some people that seem to be holding hands. We do see the toy dinosaur on the left and this huge toy dinosaur in the middle of the street on the right. Interesting results nonetheless. But yeah, I hope that gave you, made you want to go check more of the real William Klein's work. Try to know more about him if you don't remember. And hope it was entertaining, and catch you next week.